Video is currently recording, which I don't like. It says I'm live now, but I've been going for 20 seconds already. Absolutely. Today we're going to be talking about a couple things. First off, I might as well start with the classic "Where have I been today?" and that's doing a lot of stuff. Primarily with school, figuring out that quarter one ended. We had a trebuchet project, which is a massive catapult thing that we launched. That was due on the same day as the quarter ending. College stuff as well for deadlines. Also, that day, as well as a bunch of test quizzes, and then projects that I had to either finish or get new ones of, one of which we're working on for film studies, like a short film thing, so I've been working on that pretty actively, actually. We're going to be filming later tonight, which is great, because I get to do more editing, oh boy. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been for the past week and a half. Also, it's my sister's birthday. Also, I upload four new episodes of the Mastercast out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts down below. I got a new provider, which is good, so I can upload unlimited, which means I'll probably be uploading like 4, maybe 5 a month on that like once a week kind of schedule there, so everyone knows when they come out. And then you can just simply go to wherever like Spotify and look at the new episodes. So that's good. Next thing we want to talk about, so since it is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts now, I'm going to try to make it pretty audio focus instead of visual focus. I'm just going to obviously add visuals and stuff, but just in case you want to listen to it, it's easier time than just having to say, hey, look at this, and you can't look at it because you're listening through Spotify. So yeah, here are the new episodes. For some reason, they're not in order. It's 1, 2, 4, 6, 3, 5. I can't change that, I don't think, which is quite unfortunate. But yeah, so if you can go here, support this, that would be good. Things we're going to be talking about today is the stuff in the title. So Airpods Pro, Google buys Fitbit, S10 Lite, and etc. So I guess the first thing we're going to start with is the Airpods Pro. Now, really hope this is... Yes, we're good. Okay. AirPods Pro. Pretty much, these are Apple's new in-ear noise-canceling earbuds that they released on... a week ago, more than a week ago, something like that. Pretty recent. But yeah, they're effectively active noise canceling in-ear earbuds. They kind of look like the original AirPods, but the stem is shorter, and they have a foam or silicone ear tip instead of just the normal one, like built in or whatever. So that's good. Couple benefits, I guess, of these noise canceling. So I love noise canceling. I have them on my Sonys, not the earbuds, the headphones, and they're great. Effectively, they get rid of noise. Any noise, like low rumbles outside, kind of some talking, like airplane things, they get rid of that, which is nice, and having earbuds is really good. The only other earbuds that I know that do that are the Sony WF-1000X M3. They really need to get a better name. The only other earbuds are those, and they technically have better noise canceling and sound quality and all that stuff, but these are just really good. And why I say that is because actually there's a bunch of things that the Sonys don't. For instance, wireless charging case, so you can charge them on your bed or whatever with a wireless charging pad, which is good. Water resistance, the special pairing stuff, and hands-free assistant. And those are like a couple of things on top of some other special features that really make these stand out. Being able to wirelessly charge them, have a hands-free assistant saying, hey Siri, blah, blah, blah. That's really good. And then being able to be water resistant, sweat resistant is also really good if you're trying to use these for like running or walking or jogging or something and you're creating a sweat. You don't want these to break. Those are all really good features. A couple other things. These vents on the side are actually equalizers to equalize pressure, which is something I didn't really realize was a good thing, but it actually really is. So these things on the side, air goes in. Usually when you put an earbud in, they like go into your ear and it creates a bunch of pressure because of the air not being able to escape. With these, they equalize the pressure, and so it's a nice, comfortable feel, because one of the benefits of these is the great comfort because of the added silicone ear tip. Speaking of the ear tips, if we can get to them, active noise canceling, customizable fit, comfort. Okay, so audio people can't see this, but right now it's just the flat image of the earbud, and then the ear tip can actually come off magnetically, which we're about to see here, to create a better level of comfort. So the ear tip is magnetic, it pops off, you put new ones in, and they sell replacements for really cheap, which is good. But if you swap them for 3 different sizes and stuff, they just click into place. So that's good. Also, with another special feature, I guess, is in the app, you can go, not the app, in like settings or whatever, you can go into like the stuff where all the noise canceling features are and click the ear test, and that will figure out if it has a good seal or not, which is always really good. I'm not sure how useful that will be. I think most people can tell if they have a good seal or not, but hey, it's there anyway. If this is your first time using these types of earbuds, so that's good. Yeah, they just snap into place. They're conformed to your ear shape, make it really secure, which creates a better seal, which in turn helps out with the sound quality, which is good. Talk about noise canceling, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no. Oh, yeah, so how you interact with them, which is nice. You squeeze them. So instead of like a tap or whatever, it's a squeeze. So one squeeze is play or pause. 2 is skip track, 3 is backtrack or whatever, and then you can say like, hey Siri or something to like turn on the weather or something. That's good. A couple other features, transparency mode, which is similar to hear through mode on the Sonys, if you see my review, which you should check out. This, you just tap it on in the volume settings in your like iPhone settings or whatever, and you can hear the outside world, which is really nice. Yeah. Everything you hear is unheard of. That's weird. Yeah, it goes through there, and it's like, you can hear everything just in case you want to hear, like, a bus or something you're about to crash into. So that's good, and there's all this stuff. So these are ultimately the earbuds right here. Special chip, allows pairing. This is an image that gets circulated around quite often, where it's just the insides of the earbud there, which is nice. Everyone's like, oh, why are they so expensive? So coming back, I guess, to our final point is the price and my impressions. So the price, $250, which honestly, people are like, oh my god, it's so expensive. It's not that bad. Like, compared to other noise-canceling wireless earbuds, there's only a couple others out there. They're around $230, $250, sometimes even $300. And so these being $250 is actually pretty adequately priced, considering they gave you a smaller case than the competition, wireless charging, water resistance, special pairing, and like the equalizer stuff, which is really good. And so yeah, they're pretty good. My impressions on them, I'm not going to get them. Everyone knows, if you've been following the channel recently, that I'm hyped for my wearbuds that I'm getting, which are effectively earbuds that you can store inside of a watch face or whatever. There are 200 retail, but I got them for like $114, $113 for the Kickstarter thing. These are $250, a little bit too expensive for me. Hey, if I get them for like Christmas or something, I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. No one's going to do that anyway. But yeah, these are here. If you want to go buy them, go ahead. They're on the Apple Store. These are going to be pretty popular, I feel like. They're definitely not a bad choice for people that want that kind of ability. Extreme quality, good. Yep, that's nice. Yeah, so people want noise canceling, water resistance, that like better sound quality and seal around the ear than the originals. You can buy these. They also have the other ones not on sale, but they like still sell them, which is good. So if you don't want this, you can still buy the other ones. And that's the first talking point. The second thing we're going to go to is Google buying Fitbit. Now, Google buying Fitbit, if you don't know, is a fitness watch company. They make Fit watches. The recent is the Versa 2, which looks identical to an Apple Watch because they're trying to capitalize on the Apple Watch thing. Pretty much, this is cool. Pretty much what they wanted to do is create their own smartwatch that they failed hundreds of times over to actually accomplish. And what they're able to do with that is just compete with Apple in the smartwatch thing. They tried like 4 times and they failed each 4 times with like Wear OS and stuff. So now since they bought Fitbit, they can pretty much use that as their leverage. And what is hers that they're going to combine it with, similar to what they did with Nest. Their like security camera, home security system, that kind of stuff. They just combined it into Google stuff, so it's Google Nest now. So whenever you buy like a Nest camera, it would be like a Google camera or whatever. What's weird about that is that for some reason they changed the Google Home Mini to the Nest Home Mini, which doesn't really make much sense, and it's kind of going to confuse people because they're not really related. I guess you can like turn on your Nest cameras, but the problem is you could already do that anyway. Like, you could say, hey, turn on the like Nest cameras, and it would do that without needing to change the name of the thing. So that's not really like an add benefit. Whatever. Pretty much they're going to try to do the same thing with this, so I have a feeling they're gonna somehow make these watches be able to like interact with Google Assistant at some point and just be able to like have tracking and health things. Not sure really what's gonna come out of it. It got announced like 8 days ago, a week ago or so, and nothing's really changed quite yet. They might consolidate because honestly, Fitbit has way too many like items just in general. They have so many different types of watches, and all of them are different, and they do a good job of distinguishing them, but I just think they have way too many just in general, especially when they have older models that they still sell for some reason. That can get quite annoying. But yeah, Google buys Fitbit. We'll see what happens with that. Next on the list, we're good, right? Yep. Next on the list, we're going to talk about S10 Lite. Here's the problem with talking about the S10 Lite. It's really hard to find a picture of it because not only does no one know it exists, but what the original leaks were before the S10 got announced was that the S10e, which one? This one, the S10e, was going to be the S10, no, This was going to be the S10 Lite, which is the S10e, which is named both in two different countries. Like, it's absurd. Like, here's the S10. That's not it. Is this it? That's not it. This is it, yeah. This is the S10e. This is the bordered S10e small one. This was what the S10 Lite was called before it was announced the S10e. So when you look at S10 Lite, you get these pictures, which are not what it's supposed to look like. So what I'm confused about, and I'm not 100% sure this is true, they're making an S10 Lite, which is going to confuse the crap out of literally everybody, which isn't good. Do we know the specs? Good question, someone asked in the comments. No one's asking in the comments. Probably. What do we know so far? Good question. We had the S10, S10 Plus, S10 5G, S10e, and now there's an S10 Lite. Equal or better to the S10e. That's good. So pretty much the rumors, oh, there we go. So rumors of the specs, it's going to have a 6.7-inch full HD plus display, so 1080, 1080p, and then Snapdragon 855, 8 gigs of RAM, which is good, 120 gigs of storage, a 4,370 milliamp hour battery, which is much bigger than most other batteries, a disgustingly big 48 megapixel camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 5 depth, 32 megapixel front, Android 10, blah, blah, blah. Those are the exact same ones as the rumored Samsung Galaxy A91, because of course they are. Whatever. Pretty much, these are the specs. They're really good if you want to know what they relate to. They're pretty much top-tier specs. Like, there's nothing about here that says it's not going to be a top-tier spec, and they're probably going to sell it for, like, $800, $750, which I don't really know why they're doing this anyway. So we'll see what happens with that, I guess. It's kind of interesting because, like, what's the point, really, of making another phone? Samsung makes so many. I think last time I counted, they have, like, 20 phones released because they have, like, S10, S10 Plus, S10 5G, S10e, Galaxy Fold 5G, and then their A10, A10e, A20, 30, like, 40, 50, 60, 70. Like, they skip a couple, but it goes up to, like, 90. And then this is apparently the 91th, which is not ideal. So they have a lot of phones, and here's another phone for people to gauze over. No, I don't want to subscribe to your stupid newsletter. Meanwhile, we're doing well. More, right, so what's the more? A couple of interesting things. You know that company, Red Hydrogen, or Red, which is their, like, special, like, Supreme camera company that Linus always uses, and it's like, wow, we spent $30,000 on a camera. What? Look at us, we're so good. Yeah, they made a phone, and everyone hated it because it was a bad phone. It looked like crap. And Red, a camera company, didn't even use their own cameras in the phone that they made about cameras. They're like, yeah, let's use someone else's cameras, which was horrible. So you had a bad camera on a camera company's phone that looked bad, had outdated specs, had stupid modular things like the Motorola phones that didn't catch on. I think I said had a bad design. Had a not good screen, just in general, looking ugly and weird edges, and then had a 3D holographic display that was, and and was like $2,000, so $1,300. Yeah, Literally no one should have bought this phone, and this was the worst thing ever. And luckily, after that one phone, Red killed their entire phone division right out of the bat. They're like, wow, we spent way too much money on this. It was a mistake. Everyone hated it, so they killed it, which is good because this should really not exist. This, like, boxy, blocky, horrible. You've probably seen it before. It's just bad. So that got rid of itself pretty nicely, actually. Whoops. Okay, we're good. Yeah, that got rid of itself really nicely, which is nice. Next thing we're going to look at, final piece of talking point before I talk about some other stuff happening on the channel, is join carriers. This is kind of confusing. Pretty much, it has to do with messaging and stuff. How do I explain this? Okay, so Android, not iPhones. iPhones iMessage. Androids usually use standard text messaging or SMS messaging that can't do things like group calls or like multi-call stuff, and has a hard time sending messages, and just overall worse than like iMessage over Wi-Fi and groups and renaming and things. So Google, owner of Android, decided, hey, let's do that. Let's give people what is called RCS, which is different than SMS, RCS messaging ability, which made it easier to do things like group calls and different like GIFs and stuff, just overall, right? They wanted to do this for like a couple years. The carriers or manufacturers, I think the carriers said they don't want it to happen, and then since the carriers had pretty much control over the manufacturers didn't want to add their, like OnePlus, Samsung, Huawei, those kind of people didn't want to add that. So Google was like, okay, I'll do it myself. So they added like Google Duo updates and whatever to make it easier. And then the carriers were like, oh, whoops, Google's taking over the thing we can make money off of. So they decided to all join together and announce they're making an RCS messaging in the US for smartphones in 2020. What you may think is that it's Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, and T-Mobile. Those are the 4 major carriers. And you're like, okay, how do carriers get their apps onto Android phones? They force them onto Android phones and make them crap. If you're not aware, AT&T, which is the worst offender of this, has like 400 different apps. Swear to God. There's just so many of them for like messaging and text and read over and voicemail and other mail and like security and backup and all this crap that they put onto the phone, and you can delete it. The problem is that if this goes through and they finish actually getting this stupid system working, what's going to happen is that it's going to be mandatory, and you're going to have to use the AT&T branded or Verizon branded smart messaging system instead of like a standard messaging system or literally any other type. You'd have to use the carrier one, which is renowned for being absolutely awful. So we're going to see if we can actually not have this happen, considering this is, I mean, it's okay. If it actually works, because they're all coming together to do this and it doesn't suck, this will be good. But I have a feeling it's just not going to be good. I have a feeling they're going to mess this up. It's not like ideal, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's pretty much the last talking point of news I wanted to talk about. Next thing we're going into is pretty much channel stuff. So, I already talked about how you can go to the Mastercast episodes. I already talked about channel update stuff. My Oculus Quest video is actually almost done. I just have a couple more things to add, like a video and then some editing things. But yeah, that's pretty much done, which is great because that means we can have another upload on the channel as well as whenever this comes out. I can upload more Mastercast episodes, which is good. And yeah, next video is probably going to be the Oculus Quest one. The one after that is probably going to be the Wearbuds one, like first impression, stuff like that. And I hope you enjoyed this. And if you want to see more of this on the channel and also more of this format, sort of like audio format for everyone who likes that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Help me out on Patreon, support me on Patreon if you can for this Mastercast so I can do better things, make this a better podcast. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. And with that, I will see everyone next time. So, yeah, goodbye.